Want to know the difference between scene and scenecore? I can help. In this video, I'm going to cover the history, style, and music of both subcultures, as well as how to differentiate them and why both subcultures have beef. Consider this an updated version of my How to Be Seen video from almost a year ago. Since I didn't include a history of the subculture or certain aspects of it there, please correct me if any of this info is inaccurate since I wasn't around during the golden age of the subculture. The scene subculture originated in the mid-2000s and was popular until the mid-2010s, before having a resurgence in the 2020s. It was mainly popular with teens and young adults, so generally those aged 13 to 25. The fashion aspect of the subculture was heavily inspired by emo fashion, but also took some inspo from rave, decora, and harajuku. Scene was a fashion-based subculture, meaning that although the music was very important to it, you had to dress the part to be considered scene. The hair was also a big part of the look, and a lot of scene kids prioritized glamour and vanity over community. They also tended to be pretty bigoted, which is why they were considered posers by other subcultures. Although this belief was also based in misogyny, since scene was a very feminine subculture popular with teen girls. This is where the idea of scene being a poser subculture comes from. Scene culture is also very androgynous, like I mentioned before, with many boys having longer hair, wearing makeup, and having a more feminine appearance. Generally, scene is considered to have three waves. The first wave ran from 2005 to around 2013 or 2014. This is where most of the OG scene kids considered original or authentic come from, aka modern day millennials. In the 2010s, scene culture started to gain inspo from the hipster and swag eras, as well as becoming simpler because of the trendy fashion at the time. However, it died out due to changing trends and many people who participated in the style growing out of it. The second wave occurred from 2015 to 2018. This wave mainly consisted of people who idolized the scene kids from the first wave but were too young to actually experience it, people who held on to the style, and people nostalgic for it. This wave was figuratively and literally the middle child of subculture. It was more subdued and small scale. The third wave, or the wave we're currently in, has been occurring since 2019. It began with the 2019 movement, which was an effort to revive the subculture in 2019 mainly by Gen Z and millennials. This continued into 2020 with the Roaring Twenties movement, which was the exact same as 2019, we just need a new name because it wasn't 2019 anymore. With the pandemic happening, a lot of people got into many forms of old fashion, including scene. Also, the 2020s has a lot of people nostalgic for the 2000s to 2010s, and with the Y2K and McBling movements picking up steam, scene culture fits right in. Also, fun fact, the term Y2K originates from that time when people found out their computers were going to bug out when the year hit 2000, and thought that signified the end of the world for some reason. The more you know. The Scenecore subculture originated in the early 2020s. Sometimes you'll hear alternate names used for it, like color puke, to avoid confusion, since the term Scenecore was used by first wave scene kids. The subculture takes inspo from scene and its respective inspirations, although it focuses more heavily on decor influences. The style also takes inspo from 2020 alt, glitchcore, and the general maximalism of pandemic trends and aesthetics. Many people in the subculture are part of the furry or Therian communities and will incorporate aspects of that into their fashion. Scenecore is mainly popular at tweens and teens, with the age range of 10 to 20, and it's a fashion-based subculture, although it has music aspects which I'll talk about later. Most Scenecore people focus on the rejection of cringe culture and being yourself, as well as nostalgic for the pandemic. There's a lot of hostility between the scene and Scenecore subcultures, mainly from scene kids, but we'll talk about that later. Scene hair is probably one of the most iconic aspects of the subculture. Typical scene hair consists of choppy, braided layers with a side fringe. Scene hair is unique because it's often heavily teased, treated with hairspray, and dyed unnatural, bright colors. Most scene kids did it themselves at home instead of getting it done in a salon, although nowadays there are alt salons that can do it properly. I'm not going to go in depth about how to do it here, but typically you'll part your hair into your fringe, your shorter layers, and your longer layers, then cut with a razor or diagonally with scissors. Some scene kids would do peacock hair where they'd use gel or hairspray to spike up their hair in the back. Some would do blunt, straight bangs instead of a side part. Some would put their bangs or even part their hair up into little poofs. And most would use extensions. Some would even use wigs instead of their natural hair. Curly hair and protective styles weren't very common back in the day due to the bigotry in the community, and many scene kids with wavy or curly hair would just straighten it or wear wigs. There were a few who used their natural hair, however. One of the most popular examples was Yo-Yo the Rave Fairy, a black scene queen who used pick-and-drop braids, a type of box braids where you braid to a certain point then knot instead of finishing, to do the hairstyle sometimes. Curly scene hair has become more accepted in the modern day, and people have gotten very creative with it. Sometimes general alt hairstyles are accepted as scene hairstyles too. There's a huge debate over whether or not you need scene hair to be seen, and in my opinion, if you can't get the hair, at least try something similar or try harder in the makeup and style departments. Like, I recently did something similar to Yoru the Ray Fairy where I did the cut on pick and drop braids, and I feel so much more confident in my fashion and identity. Scenecore doesn't really have any hairstyles attached to it, but I do see many Scenecore people sporting a wolf cut or like messier hair. Scene makeup typically consists of a black raccoon smoky eye done with eyeshadow or eyeliner, with concealer lips or light pink lipstick. You can also find some that wear black lipstick. A lot of Scenecore people don't wear makeup due to their young age or issues such as parents, sensory issues, energy, etc. And it really isn't a heavy part of the subculture like it is with scene makeup. However, Scenecore people who do wear makeup typically wear makeup similar to 2020 trends with bold eyeliner and eyeshadow. Okay, for the fashion aspects of these subcultures, I'm going to list stuff in this order. Both subcultures, scene, then Scenecore. I won't be going into much detail for this part, unfortunately, because there are a lot of things to cover. Both subcultures. Outfits often combine neon with black, Invaders in merch, specifically Gur, Gloomy Bear, Cartoon Network, band merch, checkerboard, zebra, horizontal stripe, and jaguar/leopard prints, Domo, My Little Pony. Scene. More provocative and revealing clothing, clothing is tighter, polka dot and plaid patterns, clothes found through thrifting and DIY more often, sequins, glitters, studs, So Happy, The Nightmare Before Christmas, monsters. No, not the drink. Scenecore. Clothing tends to be baggier and less revealing, fast fashion used more often.
That's what's up.
Both. Graphic tees, camis and tank tops, zip-up character hoodies, two-fur top combinations, corsets. Scene. Many scene girls will purposely let their bras peek out of their shirts or will just straight up wear bras or bikini tops. Cringy, ironic, and like kind of full millennial core t-shirts. Layering, t-shirts with bold letter statements, sometimes stuff with bows on them, tube top. Scenecore. The only real thing exclusive to Scenecore I didn't list before is that some of them will wear like cringy t-shirts, but like the modern Hot Topic or Spencer's ones.
Write your name on it. Write your name on it.
Both pretty much just tutus, although they're more common with scene kids. Scene. Tight, skinny / straight or bootcut jeans and mini jean shorts that are often colored, sometimes leggings, specific skirts or dresses, some will just wear underwear. Scenecore. Baggier jeans and longer shorts that are almost always black or gray, those specific Trip NYC pants, you know what I'm talking about. Both Converse, Vans. Scene. Heels, ballet flats, multicolor sneaker brands like Osiris and DC shoes, slip-ons. Scenecore. While both decorate their Vans and Converse, Scenecore people generally do it to a heavier extent.
Write your name on it. Write your name.
Both candy, arm warmers and thigh highs, specifically striped ones, studded belts, fuzzy leg warmers, those furry tail keychains, pearl necklaces, ties, striped tights, animal ears. Scene. Tiaras, diamond outline necklaces, bows, headbands, hair clips, sunglasses and glasses with chunky frames and decorations, patterns and colors, like those like fuzzy animal or monster hats. More accessories than emo, but less than Scenecore, Decora, piercings. Scenecore. Abundance of accessories, often consisting of pins and keychains on clothing, lanyards with pins on them. Okay, normal list, now on to music. Both subcultures of fashion-based mean that they don't have a specific genre, instead having multiple. Despite scene being fashion-based, the music is super important to the subculture. I don't know how to define some of these genres, so let me do my best attempt. Certain 2000s or 2010s electropop or synth-pop, with elements of both electronic and pop music. Examples include Kesha, Millionaires, The Metroid, Metro Station, and Breathe Carolina's later releases. Crunkcore, a genre mixing the screams of metalcore, which I'll mention, with EDM and hip-hop as well as autotune. Examples include Broken Tide, early Breathe Carolina, Dot Curve, I Set My Friends on Fire. This genre is heavily criticized for its often misogynist and controversial lyrics, and many people just hate it because of personal preference. Happy hardcore, hardcore rave, EDM. Examples include S3RL, Disco Warp. The unique nature of the genre as well as the anime elements often incorporated into it have caused people to label it cringe. Electro power pop, combination of electropop and power pop. There's way less info about this genre, but examples include Kill Paradise, Nicosaur, Watch Out There's Ghosts, Amy Can Fly, Breathe Electric, Scotty Vanity. Electronic core, electronic music and metalcore. Examples, Attack Attack. There's others, but that's the only one I know. Pop punk, pop and punk rock. Examples: Hit the Lights, Boys Like Girls, Mayday Parade. Neon pop punk with electro pop influences. Examples: Cobra Starship, Forever the Sickest Kids. I've seen quite a few people, particularly metalheads, hate on these two genres for the more mainstream sound and how they kind of gentrified the metal and punk music in a way that made it more suitable for a mainstream audience. Metalcore, metal and hardcore punk. Examples include Bullet for My Valentine, I Wrestled a Bear Once, Snow White's Poison Fight, Vampires Everywhere, Alex is on Fire. Inter-subculture, combining metalcore and chiptune. Examples include Take a Spin Down Rainbow Road. Again, there are more, but I don't have them here. 2000s indie/acoustic. Certain bands from 2000 to 2010s would cover more acoustic indie music, sometimes with a bit of electro-pop thrown in there. Examples include Never Shout Another, Play Radio Play, Plug in Stereo, Steven Jerzak, Older Owl City. Okay, that's all of them. Self-promo, I have a Google Doc and Spotify account for C Music, check them out. Also, sorry if I messed up all those words, I can't pronounce things and like that. I was trying to do that all in one take. Scenecore music generally consists of more modern day stuff that was popular on TikTok in 2020 or 2021. Scenecore genres are so similar that I'm just going to group them together into a general explanation for them. Metalcore, Crush Club, Plug, modern day hyperpop. Generally trap music combined with SoundCloud rap. Crush Club in specific will have Jersey Club and Bit Crush thrown in there. The reason I say modern day hyperpop and not just hyperpop in general is because Scenecore people generally listen to that like 2020 commodified hyperpop that was popular then, not the earlier forms. Examples include Otatari, Barely Human, Astria, Ketsfork, Eki, I don't know how to pronounce that, Lumi Athena. Scenecore music is also pretty controversial. There's plenty of genres between artists in the community. Lyrics are often misogynist and fetishize mental illness, self-harm, and teen culture. Many older hyperpop fans hate modern day hyperpop, and many people just hate these genres in general. Now, Scenecore and Scene are pretty much at war. Both of them hate each other, but Scene kids are like AM level with their hatred. I'm going to cover both reasons why they hate each other and give my verdict. Scene kids that hate Scenecore hate it because it's an overlap with scene culture. Ever since Scenecore became popular, it often shows up alongside Scene on certain social media sites if you don't specifically look for scene culture. This has caused many people to consider Scenecore as Scene, which pisses off Scene kids. Scenecore people will call themselves Scene, sometimes for engagement and sometimes because they think they're Scene, which causes more tension between the two. Scene people think Scenecore people are posers copying the Scene style without truly understanding it, having a style, bad music, etc., etc. Hatred of Scenecore has caused some Scene kids to think that certain things like colorful Scene outfits, candy, wearing girl merch, and doing other stuff that Scenecore people also do makes you a poser, despite the fact that these things have been aspects of the subculture since the 2000s. The term Scenecore has also kind of just become synonymous for poser, so yeah. Also, just clarifying, not every Scene kid thinks this way because many of them don't care about Scenecore and they don't think it deserves hate. Moving on, like, obviously you can't generalize a group like that.
Oh, you'd fall in love all over again.
On the flip side, many Scenecore people think Scene kids act too gatekeeping and are even hypocritical due to them being labeled as posers back in the day. Many Scenecore people will get harassment from Scene kids even if they acknowledge they're not Scene, and many Scene kids will mock these people for having harmless things, like having a typing quirk or even having autism or hyperfixations, because apparently if you're not like completely basic and if you have like any interests that are considered stereotypical, you're automatically a self-diagnosed poser. As an autistic person who is diagnosed, I hate when people use that logic. Just because I dress in a certain way or like act a certain way or like talk in a certain way, it doesn't make me less autistic. But anyways, the third wave Scene kids are trying to make the subculture less toxic, but there's still so many people who think being rude makes you more Scene.
You can't touch.
My verdict, I can see both sides. It does get annoying having to share space with Scenecore people as a Scene kid, but I don't think they deserve all the harassment. In my opinion, Scenecore people need to separate themselves from Scene kids and make their subculture more unique. It prevents the overlap and allows both to not influence the other as much as they currently do. Okay, that was a video. I kind of want to update my How to Be Scene video, but I also want to differentiate Scene and Scenecore without acting like Scenecore killed my grandma or something. Because singing killed my grandma, okay? Like everyone else does, so yeah. I hope this video is helpful. Like and subscribe. Bye.